So he's one of the greatest players of all time. But considering the fact we had this conversation about LeBron, is Steph Curry washed? I think that's a genuine question. I think it is. And if you guys agree that it's a genuine question, subscribe. We're trying to hit 8.5k by Christmas, and we're like 70 subscribers off. But I think we have to talk about this, and I think it's hard not to come to the conclusion that Steph Curry is at least not partially washed, for lack of a better word, a way of describing it. Because look, Steph's 36. Steph is older than KD. And Father Time hits everyone. And it's funny because Steph might be the best conditioned NBA player ever. If we're talking about just running up and down, Steph might be the single best conditioned player. We've never seen anyone move like Steph. It's so funny. I genuinely have heard people arguing, saying like, oh no, like, you know, those 90s Bulls could have been able to keep up with Steph. And it's like, no, there's a different level of conditioning that Steph Curry is. Like, there are NBA players that they just try to work out with Steph will throw open in 10 minutes. Like, Steph is a complete other level to anything that has been seen before and possibly may ever be seen after Steph Curry, because some players don't love the game quite as much as someone like a Steph does. They just lost by 51 points and he didn't make a shot. Like, if LeBron did not make a shot in a game, the world would be collapsing. Like, the world, like, we would be talking about the world absolutely ending, and how LeBron is the worst thing for the Lakers and the Lakers need to trade LeBron James, and, you know, the reason the Lakers are losing is because of LeBron and all this stuff. But, like, Curry gets a pass. And they just lost by 51 points. 51. And the difference is that you don't have, as Rick Pitino, to use a modern version of a Rick Pitino quote, there's no Kevin Durant coming through that door. There's no prime Klay Thompson coming through that door. There's no Iguodala coming through that door who you want shooting the ball with the fate of the universe on the line, the Martians pointing their death beam on the earth. There's not even a prime Jordan Poole coming through that door. This Warriors team, player for player, is a 35-win team. Draymond has been washed for years. He can be a good leader. He's been washed. Andrew Wiggins, fine. A fine NBA player. A good NBA starter. I'll give you that. A decent NBA starter. Jonathan Kuminga. Can the Warriors just give up on Kuminga? I mean this. A lot of people are like, oh, Jonathan Kuminga, he's going to leave and he's going to be an all-star man. Jonathan Kuminga literally isn't even a good NBA starter. You're going to have to pay him. I don't think he's got much trade values. I don't even know who wants to pay Jonathan Kuminga. Jonathan Kuminga is not an NBA starter. Someone's going to pay him dumb money just because he's athletic and he's 22. He has not gotten better since he was, 19? He was as good in his rookie year as he is now. He just has more opportunity now. Jonathan Kuminga is is highly unlikely to be a player. Brandon Pajemski is fine. And I mean that, like, he is a good glue guy on a good team that you guys got with, the 19th pick? I'm saying this right now. Pajemski, still really good considering everything. It's just, people expected Pajemski to make this big leap. Really? Really? Like, I like Brandon Pajemski. I think he's a guy. I think he's like a stay in the league 15 years type of guy. I think he might win a couple of championships as the 7th best player on a team. And he's good for that. If Brandon Pajemski is your 8th best player, you're a good team. He is a good role player who can be an elite bench player for a great team. Brandon Pajemski you cannot be trying to force Brandon Pajemski to be your 4th best player. Like, the Warriors, I think the Warriors are cooked, to be honest. And with Steph, I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about Steph. I don't know, is he washed? Or is it just a case of like, is it just a case of a bad game? Because this bad game, again, if this was a game that LeBron had, or if KD had this game, there would be more questions asked. And Steph's older than KD. And it'll be a pity because Steph's still really good. And I think the Olympics didn't help. I do not think the Olympics helped. We've seen it with KD picking up more injuries. We've seen it with LeBron having a slower start than normal this season. We've seen it with Steph slowing down a bit this season. Like, when it mattered, it seems Steph can still be Steph. But that's the problem, is Steph can't be, not only can Steph not be Steph for 82 games, I think you can argue that Steph can't even be Steph for 48 minutes anymore. Like, for one game, on a one-off, any individual game, I genuinely do not know if you can argue that Steph is still Steph. So it's always a tough one when it comes to Steph because, man, I love Steph Curry. Steph Curry is, in my opinion, the best point guard to ever play the game of basketball. And like, I understand arguments for Magic. I think they're so different as players that it's really hard. And everyone being like, oh, but like Magic's the best traditional point guard. And my answer to that is, what the hell is a traditional point guard? Like, that position doesn't exist anymore. Like, Steph Curry is the reason why that position, he's so good, that position, he is so good that position doesn't exist anymore. Which is kind of crazy. But yeah, it's kind of a sad thing to see. Look, I'm 27 or I'm 28 years old. I got into basketball and LeBron was playing. Like, I don't know an NBA without LeBron James. I was huge in the NBA when Steph was coming up. I was 18, 19 during Steph's MVP years. So I was like the prime age for first year in college doing nothing and staying up till 3 a.m. every single night watching Steph Curry play 82 times that year. So this one is going to just kind of hit. I think this one's just going to hit more so than a LeBron, because I'm like, I've been almost expecting LeBron to retire for the last 4 years. But I'm like, if Steph's only got a year or two left, man. And I think if you're the Warriors, just go for it. Just go for it. Like, you're not going to have much of a future anyway. You can trade Kuminga for picks. You can trade Wiggins for picks. You can trade maybe a Draymond for picks in the future. But like, I would go for it. I would just see what you can do. Make a splash. Make a splash. See if you can get a LeBron. The Lakers aren't going to trade him, but see if you can get a Jimmy Butler just for this 1 year. And try to convince Jimmy Butler to even take his player option. And you can try to trade Jimmy Butler somewhere else next year. But yeah, I don't see the Warriors really doing much, if I'm being completely honest, anytime soon. But yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.